When babies first begin eating solid food, they are unable to chew. Therefore, food must be made into a texture that babies are able to swallow. In the following section, we will talk about the suitable foods for babies and the tools used to make them. The first foods that babies eat are usually smooth and runny purees. Therefore, choose foods that can easily be turned to smooth puree. Choose some easily mashed fruits and vegetables such as winter melon, hairy melon, chayote melon, pumpkin, carrots, Chinese spinach, spinach, ripe bananas, pears or peaches. Offer vegetable and fruit purees as the first foods so that your baby learns about the natural taste of vegetables and fruits early. For grains, you can give your baby strained congee, baby rice cereal and baby oat porridge. Start with rice cereal and then introduce vegetables and fruits. These foods are unlikely to cause food allergies. After trying rice cereal for 3 or 4 days, babies can then try vegetable puree. You can either mix the vegetable puree with rice cereal or feed him the puree directly. Let your baby taste plain foods first. After your baby accepts the food with a bland taste, you can give him foods that are naturally sweet. Seasoning should be avoided. Using suitable tools, it is easy to make mashed food and food puree. You can use a strainer, grater, or a small blender. Here our dietitian will demonstrate how to make different food purees for babies. When babies are about 6 months old, they can start eating pureed foods. Next, I'll show you how to prepare babies' first foods, including rice cereal, spinach puree, pear puree, and potato mash. Whenever we handle food, we should pay attention to hygiene. The kitchen must be kept clean all the time. Before handling food, remember to clean your hands and tools thoroughly to avoid bacterial infection. First, I will show you how to prepare baby rice cereal. To make rice cereal, we need baby rice cereal powder or milk cereal powder, some breast milk or formula milk, a bowl and a spoon. Put 1 to 2 tablespoons of rice cereal powder into the bowl. Then add breast milk or formula milk according to the instructions shown on the package. Stir it into a smooth puree. If milk cereal powder is used, just add warm water. The cereal powder already contains milk. If the cereal is too thick, you can add a bit more water or milk to make it more liquid. Now you can feed your baby. Vegetables are rich in dietary fibers, vitamins and minerals. Babies at 6 months old can try vegetable puree. Vegetables like spinach or Chinese spinach are suitable choices. To make spinach puree, you need the following tools: a chopping board for cooked food, a knife, a strainer, a grinding rod or a spoon, and a bowl. First, wash the spinach thoroughly and cook it until it's soft. Then, cut away the stalks. Chop the spinach leaves in different directions so as to get finer pieces for easy straining. Now, put the vegetable pieces into the strainer. Use a grinding rod or a spoon to grind the pieces in circles. Then the pureed spinach is ready. You can feed your baby pureed spinach straight away, or you can mix the puree with the rice cereal or congee. In addition to vegetables, babies can also try fruit puree. Choose fruits that are ripe and have soft flesh, such as apples, pears, bananas, or peaches, etc. These fruits are all good for making puree. Next, I'll demonstrate by using a pear. There are two ways to make fruit puree. The first one is to scrape with a teaspoon. Scrape out the pear flesh with the teaspoon. Keep scraping in one direction. This is the pear puree we can get. If the puree or mash is not smooth, use a strainer to remove the small lumps. This is what smooth puree should look like. The second method is to use a fine grater. Put the grater firmly against the bowl. Grate the pear on the grater forward and backward. Now we have pear puree. Potatoes, sweet potatoes and other root vegetables can be mashed to make baby food. Take potatoes as an example. First, boil the peeled potato pieces until soft. Then use a spoon to mash them. Add a small amount of warm water so that it can be mashed more easily. You may find the mash a bit lumpy. Put it in the strainer and grind away any lumps to create a finer texture for your baby. Remember to strain the mashed potato while it is still warm, before it cools down and dries out. For a smoother texture, you can add a small amount of warm boiled water or milk. In handling food, it's important to make sure that the tools and food are clean. Now we'll talk about how to clean the tools and some important points about food safety. All tools must be washed thoroughly both before and after use. Rinse the tools with hot water before use. After use, wash the tools with hot water and detergents and clean them with a cloth and brush to remove leftover foods and oil. Then dry them with a cloth or leave them to air dry. Food safety. Pay attention to the following points regarding food safety whenever you handle food. Frozen food. If food is not eaten immediately, it must be stored in a fridge of less than 4 degrees Celsius and consumed as soon as possible. If the food is not eaten within 12 hours, it must be kept frozen at -10 degrees Celsius or below in a freezer for a maximum of 7 days. Reheating food. Frozen food must be defrosted inside the fridge. Never defrost it at room temperature in order to prevent bacterial infection. After the food has been defrosted, boil for at least 1 minute before serving. Avoid using vacuum flasks. Food must be stored at over 60 degrees Celsius to reduce the growth of bacteria. Most vacuum flasks cannot maintain such a high temperature, so we should avoid using vacuum flasks to store food. For more information on food safety, please refer to the booklet published by the Centre for Food Safety or its website.